guarantee the shockwave.
Hello, hello, everyone out there in
or in Twitchverse or Mixerverse or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching. So, hello. So today is a little bit different from normal schedule. Um, Long story short, there's a convention, like a small one near me, that's happening in about a week, next Saturday. And I'm working on a costume. And it's not even nearly finished yet. So today, as you can see, we're going to be doing some crafty things. This is something that I've wanted to do, like, moving forward. I just didn't know where to put it, and I didn't really have a setup for it. As it stands, I've got this, like, really janky setup where this is my desk, or this is part of my desk surface, and this is a crafting mat, not mask, that I own. And I have a lamp that's literally right above me that I taped a secondary webcam to. And this is basically the setup I have right now for doing crafty things, or maybe in the future I'll be thinking about doing some like mini painting, or even doing some terrain for tabletops. But for now, I have a goblin mask that I'm working on. And as you can see, it's already been started. It's basically just paper mache because that's literally the only kind of supplies that I have offhand. I would have liked to have done a more like rubber realistic looking mask, but yeah, I don't have those supplies or experience to work with that. As it stands, I barely have experience doing paper mache, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, so okay, I need to figure out how to orient this. Basically, I kind of measured my head, like at the widest part of it, and I took a balloon and made it that big. I have not tried this on. I started this on Saturday, and I slowly added some layers, and I had to wait for it to dry. And paper mache takes like 24 hours to dry. So we're going to see how this turns out. I won't be like showing it on my head as of yet, but you'll be able to see as I'm working along with this. So if there's anything like you want to talk about while I'm streaming, then feel free to say something. But past that, I'm going to start getting to work on this, which is going to start by me trying to get this balloon out without popping it. I feel like I'm going to end up actually having to pop this balloon though, and if that ends up being the case, then then I will be muting myself for a second, which it looks like that's going to end up being the case. Alright, yeah. Give me a moment. I'm going to mute my microphone and I'm going to pop this balloon. I'll let you guys watch that, but I'm not going to force you to listen to that kind of nonsense. So give me just a second here. Alright, there we go. The balloon has been popped. Oh, I forgot there was duct tape. Ooh, no. Well, where are my scissors at? I know I put some scissors over here. There. This is gonna be interesting. Oh boy, I did not think about the duct tape. Okay. Let's see if I can... I'm gonna at least try to chop off the duct tape a little bit. Make it a little bit more manageable to actually work with. Damn it. Alright. Well, it's a start. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. So, I might be able to... Yeah, I don't know how I feel, but... So, basically, when I first started this, like, the first thing that I taped, onto the balloon was this, like, piece of cardstock, just so I could have, like, support for the nose here, so that it was, you know, shaped properly. But I didn't think about was eventually removing it. Oh, I think I'm just gonna try and chop off the, like, pieces that have duct tape, like right here, I'm going to try and center this. And hope that this doesn't completely thrash itself. I know I've got an X-Acto knife somewhere around here. I have no idea where it is. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. I guess I'm just going to have to chop bits off this until it's alright. Well, I guess that's what I'll have to do. Next thing, I'm going to try and chop off this excess. Basically, I want to try and keep it along this line. I want a bit of a half mask. Well, I might try to shape this a little bit. I might try to keep this as like cheeks. But we'll see how well that goes. As you can see, the back kind of shaped a little better. I might have to cut into this in order to actually wear it, however. So I know. Okay. I want to keep the cheek, though. I'll probably end up adding more paper mache to this. I'm trying to keep this like shape that I've got going on here. Yeah, because I'm going to try to keep these even. So the less body paint that I have to put on for this cosplay, the better. Which, I should probably explain why I'm making a goblin mask. So essentially, this convention coming up is all about nerd and geek culture. And my D&D group that I DM decided that those who are going to dress up as their D&D characters. We've done this once before, but that time we had like 24 hours to make our costumes. It was like a very last minute thing. And this time, my wife and I, my wife being one of my players, are going to be like trying to make it actually look nice and not look like the meme that it was last time. So I don't have a character because I'm the DM, but I do have this kind of persona that my players made up for me called the DM Goblin. I do not for the life of me remember where this originated from, but one of my players called me the DM Goblin and it just stuck. They keep calling me that ever since, and I, yes, have definitely ended up calling myself the DM Goblin. As you could tell by the fact that I'm making an entire costume dedicated to it. So, this is my attempt at making a goblin mask, because for some reason, it is impossible to buy a goblin mask online, like, for a decent price. And they're not even, like, that readily available. I think, like, the closest one that I had that actually looked decent, like, it wasn't a bad price, it was only, like, 40, 50 bucks. However, it would have taken like a month to get here or something like that, and I just don't have the time for that. But, yeah, so plan, I'm going to try and shape this, probably end up adding some more material to this after I do like a test fit to try and see how well it is, or how well it fits my head, considering I used a balloon to try and shape this. And then if I need to add more material, which I probably will, then I've got this nice little bowl here, some paper towels, and I will literally just place it here and slowly start to build up probably the edge and right around where the cheeks are on either which side. And then proceed to use some wood glue, just some regular old, good old Elmer's wood glue, and I'll basically put a coat on here to kind of strengthen it, but at the same time allow me to put enough material so that little like flakes like this that I've got going on over here won't be happening anymore. I can flatten it out, and this will also allow me to sand down the surface to make it more smooth and not look like the paper mache that it is. Now, if you'll give me a moment, I'm gonna try this on and see how it fits. I very much doubt that this is actually gonna be, or this is gonna fit well after There's a bit that I can't tell if it's wet or if it's just glue that's causing, or wet, or if the glue just gave it a different consistency of paper. Weird. Alright, let's give this a test fit, and I will leave the mic on so you guys can hear how it's fitting, or if it's even fitting. Oh, I did not think so. Okay, so it's definitely too small at the base here for me to actually be able to put this on right away. So I'm going to have to cut up here a little bit and hope that I don't have to go too terribly far. I'll be wearing a hood the entire time, so you won't be able to see it, but I'm still going to have to cut into it, which is I was hoping I wouldn't have to. So let's see. That looks about dead center. Come on. Man, I don't like this. Maybe I'll just cut like up here. I have a marker here somewhere. Where's my marker? Marker! I need a marker. Ew, okay. My pencil. Probably need Sharpie. I mean, it's going to be painted over anyway, so I won't have to worry about anyone being able to see this, but I think I might end up going from like kind of where my ear is going to be, like right here, and try to just go back to this cutting point and see if that gives me enough clearance to be able to put this on my head. I want it to be snug, but not too terribly snug. I don't want it to be like sweating out the paper mache during the day of the convention. So let's see here. So that's the top point. I'm going to try and keep this in an area where you guys can see this. I'm going to just kind of roughly spot that out. It's going to be more of a triangle than anything, but... Alright, let's see how long that is. Measuring tape to the rescue. It's backwards. Of course it's backwards. What do we got? Call it about 11 centimeters? Yeah. It's closer, or actually it's like 11 and a half. Closer to 12, we'll do 12. Figure out where 12 is. Point is over here. Give that a quick mark. Oh, by measuring tape. And we're going to just kind of give that mark. That looks very uneven. That looks about spot on, but this is definitely not where I want it to be. Oh well. Let's give this another test fitting and see how it goes. Yeah, no, alright. I kind of figured I would need to do this, but I need to chop this off and hope that that gives me enough clearance. Start from this side. Alright, come on. One bit off. I'm glad I layered this up a bit. I might come back through here as well. I think I'm going to go along this entire edge with just more paper mache and try to strengthen up this edge here so that it doesn't like collapse in case it's too flimsy. Part 2. Yeah. Alright, now with that, I'm hoping that'll give me enough clearance to put this on. It's definitely a little uneven. I might need to... What's this? I think I might have to refrain from... Or I might need to chop this down a little bit to even out on the other sides. Oh, that is totally busted, like right here. I don't know if I'm going to keep this spot right here, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, one moment here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's still too tight. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep these like cheeks that I've got going on. I'm going to have to chop that down a little bit. Let's see here. Alright. Well, I didn't want to get rid of these like cheeks that I had going on, but at this rate, I'm going to kind of have to. Luckily, worst comes to worst with paper mache, I can always add more material back if need be. Oh, alright. And we... I'm going to try and keep this as flat as possible. I doubt it's going to happen how I want it to, however. That's definitely not going to sit right, I can tell you that much. Alright, 1 second here. Ugh, my ears. It's so close. My ears are now in the way. I wonder if I could tuck my ears up in there. I'm definitely going to have to use some paper mache around the edges here, especially if I don't end up sanding these down, because it's definitely a little uncomfortable to put on right now. How else can I still don't want to go too far up in the back if I can help it. Might have to chop this down a little bit more. Yeah, this is already cut off, so I'm just gonna have to chop off and try to keep to this line that I have. In fact, I will mark that out so that you guys can see it a little bit more clearly of where I think I'm gonna cut at. I would like to try not to go past this point with chopping, though. So if I can avoid going any further up, that would be fantastic. And first things first, I'm gonna chop off this little bit that's kind of dangling here. Man, there's no good way to do this offhand. Come on. Paper mache is definitely a lot thicker up in this front section. That might just be because of the cardstock, however. Alright. This does not want to cut how I want it to. Alright. See if I can do it this way. Nope. That's just going to be awkward no matter what I do there. I really wish I would have grabbed my X-Acto knife beforehand, because that would probably make this entire process easier, but I have no idea. Actually, give me 1 second here to not pull out my headphones. Is it in there? It does not seem like it is. No, it's not. Bummer. Alright. I'm just gonna have to suffer with this then. Alright. Man, that is a lot more open than it was. I'm going to chop off this little bit here. Try and make it a little bit more even all around. The struggle with this, or the main struggle with any kind of headwear for me, is I have a very large head, and because of that, it's difficult for me to where any like, oh excuse me, anything on my head in general. All right, let me give this another test fit. Well, I mean, I was able to put it on my head, so that's farther than I've gotten so far. But it's still uncomfortable, and it's still a little difficult for me to actually get my ears in all the way. If I just... The cheeks definitely... I would like to add some cheeks to this. Go down a little bit. The nose can also come down a little bit. I think that'll be a good starting point still, but that is not giving me as much to play with as I was hoping. Nothing works out as you'd expect it to, or you would hope it would. It seems like it's pretty thick all the way around, though, which I'm happy about. There's a couple areas of concern on like structural integrity. However, I think it's actually going better than I was expecting it to so far. I think the nose is going to come out like right at eye level. So right around like the bridge of the nose. Here, there we go. The bridge of the nose here is like above my eyes. I think my eyes are going to end up being like right around here. Or like basically like this. And if that's the case, then that nose is going to protrude quite a bit. But I mean, it is a goblin, so not too concerned about that. Alright, I'm going to put this back on my head, and I'm going to mark where the eyes, or where my eyes are going to be roughly, and mark where my ears are. So I can start planning on some, like, plan some parts ahead. Alright, there we go. I didn't do those very spot on, but yeah, the bridge of the nose is definitely going to come down above where my eyes are going to be. Which, not the best positioning. Alright, so... At least know where my ears are, which is more than I could say that I had before. Oh, I don't... Alright. Do that the right way. Almost did it again. Alright, so it looks like this comes down a little bit more than that does. I still need to try and get that even, though. Alright, how far up is that? Measuring tape, I need you again. I think I'm going to base it off of this one. It seems like it's only like 2.5 above. So... probably just mark it like this temporarily. How far is that from the nose? Half again. Alright, this goblin might have some weird eyes. I'd like to try and get the ear pieces done next. And for that, let's see. First I need to push all this out of the way. Try and keep somewhat of a tidy workspace. Yeah, I might be able to get this a little bit closer to. Or this might actually stick. This, I tried putting on the clay beforehand, but it just would not stick. So let's see here. Looks like that should work. This goblin has seen some shit. Alright. I think that's roughly about even. Let's set that off to the side. And let's pull this out. Let's see, one second. Here's something I want to look at. Apparently, Mixer thinks I'm playing Dark Souls, so it's going off the old settings for whatever reason. Alright, so... Ooh, what is that? Alrighty, so my plan here, after I get this into an actual moldable temperature, is to make the ears just like a base shape. I might try to add a little bit of detail to them. I need to do that above the surface. But I want to try and make some uniform shapes for these guys. And add them to either side of the mask after I just kind of let them cure. I already have some paper mache strips next to me. I might need to cut some more, depending on how this goes. Alrighty. Let us make a goblin ear. Actually, that's pretty good shape so far. Not bad for just flattening something out. Let's look up some reference images really quick. Oh, that reminds me. So, I haven't been able to show this off because I haven't done like an actual view, but I've got this Razer chroma key keyboard and it's fantastic. If I just hit a button, it waves out and I love it. But back to this, I need a Goblin. Goblin, I need images. So I want to try and make a decent ear. So the ears seem like they stretch. They come to more of a tip at the end. Try not to make this look absolutely gross. And nice thing about fantasy creatures is you can get a little free form with it. Once you've got the generalized shape down, I kind of want to try to add like a little bit of detail to this. I'm just trying to get like an ear flap kind of over it and maybe indent it a little bit. Alrighty. Get another color out here. Don't think I'm gonna need that much. Might need a little bit more now, actually, that I think about it. The nice thing about this clay that I have is it's a kind of clay that doesn't dry out. So I don't have to worry as much about like leaving this out of its packaging. My dog has invaded my room. That's some good ambiance music for what I'm doing. Alright, let's try and match the shape a little bit. I want it to be a little thinner at the end. Let's take off a little bit of material there. And I'm essentially just going to push down on one side and try and get it to be more of a point. The one thing I'm trying to avoid is like accidentally mixing my clays together. Which, I mean, it shouldn't matter too terribly much if that ends up happening, just because just because I don't plan on using this to actually like make little models out of, or like actually use it for its intended purpose. I more want it to for this kind of a purpose where I'm just trying to like make a prop and I need some kind of mass underneath it to keep it to shape. Alright, so how does this fold look? Looks like it goes back up. Yeah, definitely need to press this in a little bit more. If not, like all the way out possibly. Or all the way down to this, like, the surface of the mat. Then I'm gonna add it there and just kind of let it blend in a little bit. Okay. It seems like past that, I'm going to use a different color for this just so it stands out. Come on. Open up package. Past that, the only thing I need to do is try to make it like the flap move over. Definitely need more stuff for this. What's going to end up happening here is I'm probably going to make... That's a little bit too much. I'm going to probably end up like making this in layers. So this entire bit will be one layer. And then whatever the flap ends up looking like I don't even know what it's called, but like on your ear, the part of the skin that kind of like folds over, to make kind of like a cup so your ear can actually pull in sound, will be its own part, just so I can get as much detail as possible. It's like, yeah. I'm kind of liking look at this. I need this to kind of blend in a little bit more though. Alright, so that'll be its own piece. Then this will be one piece. And all I have to do is take my paper strips, dip it in the glue water mixture, and plant it just on top of here, trying to capture as much detail as I can. Layer it up a little bit and smooth it out. Or smooth it out in the end. I need this to be a little bit more of a decline. Try and give the ear some depth if I possibly can. I'm not sure how well this is going to transfer over to paper mache, but we'll find out. I need this ear to hold up. So I'm going to add that in where? Yeah. Make sure that's still lining up how I want it to. Yep. All right. Oh, is this gonna come up? Now that I think about it. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. All right. Cool. That wasn't too bad. Ah, come on, come up. Oh, that is not going to come out how I want it to. That's going to need some cleaning. Where is my... I don't really have anything good to keep this on, do I? Oh, alright. I guess we're going to just end up having to put on here. Luckily, I can scrape things off of here, or off this mat. It's a self-healing mat. But at the same time, it's also something that I don't think glue will stick to easily if I'm really scraping it. So we're going to put the head aside and pull over. Oh, okay, I'll pull over, please. This is my glue water mixture. Pull it over here. And we're just gonna kind of start layering on top of this. I won't be too upset if this modeling clay ends up like getting messed up because of the glue or the glue water mixture, as long as it doesn't like melt away while I'm in the process of trying to make these pieces. And what will happen is I'm going to make the two pieces, and then after it dries out, I'm going to try and take everything off without ruining these basically base molds, so I can just replicate this. Yeah, because then I could just flip everything over, and it should be good, or it should be fine. Only if paper mache would, you know, cure in a more reasonable time. I just have to get my bag of cut up paper ready to go. All right. So. Let's get started. I'm going to take off my ring so that doesn't get glue all over it. Okay. Apparently this paper is not a fan. I'm going to set that there. And we're going to get started with this. I'm gonna try my hardest to keep as much detail as I possibly can from this. So I'm gonna try and hold or push this down a little bit, if at all possible, and try and conform it the best I can to this piece that I've made. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is my first time attempting something like this, so we'll find out what happens. All right, so I could probably. Actually, Nice thing about paper mache is all this excess material that'll be on the sides. Once it's dried up, I can literally just chop it all off without having to worry. As long as I don't chop off like the ear here. Or the actual shape that I'm going for. Go. Also, if you're on my chat box, should be getting all the different platforms that I'm on. But in case you don't see your messages, like if you're typing something and you don't see your messages popping up on this little chat box here, that probably means I'm not seeing them because for some reason my unified chat isn't wanting to work tonight. So, just as an FYI for anyone out there that might be trying to send me a message saying that I'm being really dumb on how I'm doing this or trying to give me advice or being friendly, you know, the usual mixture. But I know for a fact that my Twitch chat is working and coming in live, so I can definitely see those if you're getting frustrated. Stay down, please. Alright, I've got one more piece to do on here, and then I can start layering it the other way. Honestly, I probably should have crisscrossed this now that I think about it. But, oh well. Something to think about for when I do the second ear, which will probably end up being tomorrow while I'm off stream. I'm hoping that the mask will be ready for painting on Wednesday when I stream again, so that you guys can see how it's coming along, how it's shaping up, and see like the paint job that I'm going to be going for. Okay, I need some more glue here. I need this paper wet so it stays in place. Come on. This is just going to be frustrating in that one spot. Nope, nope, stop moving that much. Alright. That should hold down well enough. Now I can move on to just kind of, we're going this way. Going across in another direction. There, that'll go in the center then. I'm just hoping that the paper mache ears stay relatively in place. That is the ultimate goal, is that they're strong enough to be able to be attached to the base headpiece and hold there. I could probably chop this even smaller, but oh well. This is some weird ambiance going on right now. Okay, I think I could probably put this into half even. Oh, don't go into place. Yeah, that should be long enough. Alrighty. That appears to be working just fine. And this is honestly seemingly working even better than I was anticipating it to, which is a pleasant surprise to say the least. Yeah. Except for this paper that keeps trying to go everywhere. Oh no. Cover where I intend you to. Go. That's probably going to be too small there. So on to another piece. Let's see. Wide enough. There we are. Luckily, the paper mache, with how wet it is, seems to be holding the amount of detail that I was trying to go for, which makes me happy, because it'll make the next parts of construction, which will probably happen tomorrow, much easier. Next piece. Actually, this would probably be big enough for what I'm trying to do. Stay there. Alright, and then I'll probably go across again. Just trying to give this piece as much structural integrity as I possibly can. Oh, I'm getting some hair up in my glue mixture. That's nice. Stop. That is gross. Alrighty. I'm starting to get glue on my desk. That's exactly where I do not want glue. I have a mat for a reason. Alright, let's see if I can get this hair out of here. Oh, there's a long hair. That's definitely not my hair. Set it off the side. That should work actually pretty well. And then I think I need one more piece lengthwise, just on the very edge of the ear. There we are. I think I'll do one more cross section. I'm going this way. And let's see if I can scoot my camera a little bit more there. There we go. But I'll probably do another layer going that way. And then that'll be my fourth layer. And that should give it enough structural integrity that when I go to, like, or once this piece has dried, I should be able to remove it with relative ease. And it should keep up its shape. If I need to, I could probably add more layers. Or add more layers once it's all said and done. Might need to pad some of this glue away with some paper towel. Next piece. Yeah. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm more than happy to talk about basically anything while I'm doing this. Because I'm sure it'll be more entertaining if I have a topping, or not topping, but a talking point for anyone that might be watching at the time. Ooh. I might end up adding another strip just around the edge here to try and give that a little bit more shape and support. My hands are starting to get sticky from all the glue that's drying. Probably want a wide piece for what I'm going to do, or for this last bit. Okay, come on. Stay over there. Definitely gonna add a yeah, this might be long enough to do what I'm wanting. Go around the edge of the ear here. Come on, fold over. And that does not want to stay down. Alright, I guess I'm adding some more strips. Literally just in the attempt to keep that bit down. Because I would like to avoid having any like sharp edges that like stand out when the costume's done. Because I feel like the goblin head or the mask is going to probably be the center of attention when it comes to the costume. So I need to make sure that that's got a decent amount of detail. Stay down, you. All I want you to do is stay down. Stay put. Okay. Not full tear. Full tear is bad. Alright, that's probably the best I'm going to be able to do at this current moment in time with that piece. So let's try and clean up just a tad. Just kind of mop up like this excess glue on the edge. Oh, don't do that. Come on. Stay down. Why you gotta do me like this? Alright. And that will have to do. Take a quick bite of my food. Now I can move on to this piece. I want to do it like over here in this corner, which I probably should. Yeah, do it over there. Okay, let's try and make some preemptive strips so that my sticky hands aren't getting everywhere or aren't causing the paper to stick all together. There's some thicker pieces. Got all that dry glue on my fingers. Okay, those are a little tiny. That should be fine. And onward we press. This like extra like ear flap thing that I'm trying to do is going to be interesting. Just solely because I'm not sure how well it's going to turn out. This is a bit of experimenting. When the earpiece is, or when this piece is, or when both pieces are dry, I should say, I'm going to have to try and put them together with like another layer of paper mache and see if it actually holds or not. Which I'm hoping they'll hold. I might like do a couple dabs of super glue, let that dry, and then add like a couple layers of paper mache to see if that'll hold it how I want it to. This piece more malleable. This piece needs to stop moving. I have to let these strips soak a little bit more, just because I think the paper is a little bit different. Ooh, that just kind of all kinds of fell apart right there. Yeah, oh, bad. This piece is definitely going to be one that I'm going to have to take some extra love and care to trim up when it's all dry. Okay. How are you going to? Are you going to stay how I want you to? Doubt. That's not too bad. It's holding a little better than I was expecting it to. I might leave that like that actually, because once this is dry, I'm gonna have to trim off like this entire side, and then I'm gonna have to like try and just take the piece by itself, hold it, and kind of layer some more or add more layers to it while it's like that before. Oh, that might be a Wednesday thing. We'll see how this goes, because paper mache takes ages to dry. I'm hoping this will dry a little bit faster of a time, just solely on the fact that these are smaller pieces compared to, you know, full-on head. Should I do more layers? I think I'll do more cross layers. Just try and get this to conform a little bit more, in case it doesn't want to play nice. There we are. Perfect. Hope I don't get any glue on any of my like any of my externals. At least it'll be easy to clean up. I don't have enough pieces for this. Yeah, I guess that'll work. Oh wait, stop. Okay. That looks like it's holding fairly well. Now for the end parts. Will they play as nicely as last time? Find out on the next episode. Looks like it's playing nicely enough. Just gotta soak the paper a little bit longer. And there we go. As soon as I'm done shaping that. Okay, that looks like that should do for those two parts. I'm just hoping that these two dry by tomorrow so that I can... Give me 1 second while I focus so I can tap dry this. But I hope these dry by tomorrow so I can make the other 2 pieces that are needed. Alright, play nice. Alright, it looks like that's going to play nice. So now I have to wait for those 2 pieces to dry. Alright. Give me a chance to take another bite. Right, I don't trust that. Don't mind me. I have not eaten my entire dinner. Normally, I would take more advantage of like playing a video game and getting to a break point. But in this case, I'm not playing a video game, so alright. Figures aren't going to be massive on this, but should be big enough for people to be able to tell like what it is. Meantime, I can start getting these pieces shaped that I want. That's got some glue in it. Because I think I want to add some like gnarly brows. That might just require me building up some paper mache though. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get the same effect because I can't get the curve is the problem. Actually, that's something I need to think about. I'm going to have to try to find a good point tomorrow where I can like remove this while it's still going to hold its structure, but it's still like pliable, and I can shape it and try to conform it a little bit to this head. I mean, it'll be fine if they just stick straight out. That shouldn't be too much of a bother. But I'd like to not have to worry about that. Meantime, however, let's add some more paper mache around the edge to try and make this look a little nicer. Do I have thick enough pieces for that is the question. It looks like I do. Might need to chop these up into smaller bits though. So let's see about that. Alrighty. So we're going to chop off just the very edge of both sides here. Go. That should give me basically the perfect size. I'm going to need a bit of these, however. So let's see how that works. Same size. Same size. I'll move these out to the center a little bit more so anyone that's watching can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm just taking off the very edge of these. Alright. Yep, gives me more pieces. I need to see if I've got any others that are as thick as this. Cool. Alright. I should have some others like that, I would hope. Oh, there's a couple. Those are pretty thick. Pull those out and get to folding. Oh, it's not going to be the same size. Oh, I mean, that'll work. I need a fucking click noise and a half. This should give me enough to work with. Hope, otherwise I'm gonna have to do some more. Alright, I'm gonna set these off to the side a little bit. This little closer. Gonna make sure these are nice and pliable. Okay. This might need to move over here. I need a piece of paper towel to set right here in case, or just to catch any glue that might drop. So I'm sure there's going to be some. Oh, the eyes are there. Ah, I forgot about that. And 10% forgot about these, so that's gonna have to come off. So that one, so I can add that and get a as smooth as of a edge as I possibly can. I'll say I do really like the fact that paper mache is it's a really interesting art form, like just because of the materials that it uses and how it in a way recycles them, or upcycle is the right word, not recycle, upcycle, because it brings a whole new life into something that would have been thrown out or used in a fire as this, or as these would have. Because all of this is just waiting to be used as fuel for a fire. This is actually smoothing out on the outside as well. Kind of. Being a bit of a pill on the outside. Oh. I wish I had something else to talk about. I mean, I could probably talk about my or some other things. Come on, stay down over here. It's like a little bit that just does not want to stay down. Okay, I think I got it. I could talk about, like, I've been playing a new game of Stellaris as of late, and it's actually been going pretty good so far, even though I'm like my biggest border is right next to a alien species. Like, I'm playing as humans, but my biggest neighbor is a race that just wants to kind of devour as a mind swarm, and basically just wants me dead and thinks that I'm prey, but I'm on an equal military footing and they haven't actually attempted anything yet. We'll see if they actually do something eventually, though. I'm trying to keep up my military, like my space fleets and my star bases, just long enough, or like just enough to where I stay on an equal power footing as them, like in military might, so that they don't attempt it. The nice thing is, however, that like they only have like 2 ways into my territory, really, or 2 systems into my territory, and both of those now have really nice star bases that are just like fortified up the ass to prevent that species from trying to like come in and sweep me. And another nice thing is my other neighbor is a very friendly alien race that's just like, oh yeah, we cool. You want to trade? So I like that neighbor. And I'm hoping that they don't try to screw me in a way, because where I am in the galaxy, I am like right on the edge of it. So if I'm not careful, then my expansion will be basically halted by whoever is in my way, and I'm hoping to avoid that at all costs, or if it gets to that, to have a way to fight off or claim any territory that an unfriendly neighbor controls, just to make it easier to expand, because I don't want to have to go into fights if I can avoid it for expansion. Luckily, I think I've done a good enough job on my expansion that I don't really have to super worry about it. Alright, stay down. I see you over there. I see you poking up there. So I've got like it's pretty early game still. So I've got a decent sized science and construction fleet going on, or a civilian fleet. I think I've got like 3 or 4 science ships and 3 construction ships, if I'm not mistaken. And the science ships are just rushing out, surveying all the systems as quickly as possible, so that my engineers can come in behind them and just build as many like outposts as possible to try and claim up as much territory as I can. I've been very focused on the expansion portion early game, which I think is what you should do, but I mean, it also depends on your play style and how you like to play. I usually like to play pretty passively and try to pillow fort up. I've got Shmoo. But not everyone's that way. I know a couple of friends who, in strategy games like that, are very aggressive. Like, they will build up their military might as quickly as they can, and if you piss them off, they'll just be like, alright, well, I've been looking for some new territory, and you look like a prime candidate. I'll just rush you with as much advanced or as advanced of troops as they possibly can muster, and they just bum rush you because they're like, yeah, you can't. What are you gonna do? So what I like to do is have plenty of defenses on my side. Try to keep up with them tech-wise, but if I can't, just try to fortify as much as possible, which works in some games, doesn't work as well in others. Like Civilization, it can work pretty well depending on what you do, but you can also get overwhelmed very easily in Civ. And in Civ, I'm definitely one of those people that's like, oh yeah, why do I need to attack? I just need to expand where no one else is, or no one else is at the time, and just try to make sure no one notices me, so I can win by science, or win by diplomacy, or win in a way that doesn't require me trying to keep or upkeep a massive military. I need to add another piece over here because there is like a small tear, and that's gonna bug me so much. There we go, that'll keep that piece down. And that's the side that I think was bugging me because it was a little thin, so win-win right there. I think I cut up much more paper than I ended up actually needing. Not going to complain about that one, however. Alright. That'll give me a bit of a nicer, more uniform edge. I think I'm going to add a piece over here, like on this back end here as well. I might try to add one to the nose, but that might be pushing it just a tad. Man, it's already 8:30. I don't know how I feel about this. It's going to scrunch up just fine. Seems like it's scrunched up just fine. Now let's check to make sure nothing's poking out too bad. There's that piece that's poking out a little more than I would like. I'm going to have to at least add a piece. Piece on the front nose here to try and keep this down. Come on, a little bit more pliable. Please and thank you. Oh, I got glue right in my pants. Oh boy. You guys can't really see this. Alright, well, there we go. Now we have more of a uniform, or not uniform, but not as much of a grate when it comes to the edge there. Doesn't look like I hacked away at it with scissors like I did. Just trying to suck up some of this extra glue. Maybe I'll add, I could probably add like a piece or a couple pieces just along this to try and hold this down, which might actually be a pretty good idea. I've got glue all over my hand. Seems like I'm just gonna pull up whatever. Oh, no. Yeah. Hey, there we go. That's a bit more clean. Okay, so now, let's see, I'm gonna move this over here really quick. Try and get this a little bit more centered so you guys can see what's going on. But I'm gonna add pieces to the inside, probably just covering this entire thing. Yeah, I mean, I just need to cover these corners on either side. So about there. Here. piece for the other side. And there we go. That should prevent those edges from sticking out. Is there anything else I could do to this thing right now? Can't really work on the brows because I've got the edge drying now. Oh, excuse me. I think I'm gonna add a piece over here. I'm gonna add a piece like right on this side. I mean, ooh, I need to try not to cover up my ear mark. But I mean, I can redraw if need be. But I would like to try and do that. And then that keeps that part from rising up again. Do not rise up against me. I will crush you with an iron fist. Oh, I could probably actually shape this nose now that I think about it. Probably should have done that beforehand. I don't want to wait for that. All right. I'm going to seal this up really quick. Close it up so I can set that off to the side. Get some glue off my hands. Yeah, man. Anyone remember when they were in like elementary school? When you'd like put glue on your hand just to like let it dry so you could peel it off? Because if you did that when you were younger, then you know what is happening on my fingertips right now. Get some good rubbing ASMR, I guess. Okay, there we are. Should do me. Oh, hitting my camera. No. Get back to center. There we go. I love this janky setup I've got going on right now. But I mean, it worked. And it's pretty good for not planning on doing something like this for a while. Okay, I'm just going to set that there. Alright, so we've got that. Now it's time to craft a big old Goblin nose. I'm not sure if I have enough clay to do what I want, however. I could probably mix some colors. Since again, I'm not too terribly concerned about colors. Yeah, let's do that. So, got like this yellow and a green. That might give me enough material. Because I want to make a big old nose. Don't mind me as I knead this up. Yeah, man. Probably gonna make a funky color. I mean, it's just gonna make a light green, be like a lime. All it needs to accomplish is making a Goblin nose. I do need to try and shape this at least a tad. Oh, that's like not nearly enough material. It's like, let me see if I can show you this. So that's the nose. If I tip this on its side a little bit, you can see like how big that nose really is going to be. So I mean, I guess I could probably try to flatten it out and try and like shape it in such a way. Hey, morning, Jan. Thanks for stopping by the stream. It's pretty late over here, but you people are weirdos. Even if I'm the one NA person that actually posts often in that Discord. That is bright and early for you. It's 8:31 p.m. over here right now. And I am just working on this Goblin mask. Oh, I don't know how I want to do this. I'm struggling here. Actually, since you just hopped into the chat, I should probably let you know. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a paper mache goblin mask for a costume that I need for a convention next Saturday that's happening near me. So I'm trying to get this done, but I'm not sure how well it'll turn out or if it'll even be done by the time the convention rolls around. Might have a good old con or a convention costume convention panic. Thanks. See what happens. But it's hard to see, but I basically have two pieces over here. It's like the base ear and like an ear flap that'll go on the edge of this. And then you've got this like basically dome that I've created out of paper mache. That will eventually be a goblin mask. Let me get back to this. And right now I'm just kind of trying to make a mold for the nose if possible. But the story behind Goblin is I am a DM for a D&D group. And basically my group, for those who are going, are all dressing up as their D&D characters from that campaign. And me being a DM, I don't have a character, so I don't have anything to like dress up as. I don't remember where this came from, but one of my players called me the DM Goblin at one point. And wait, actually no, I do know the story. I was a little buzzed during one of the sessions. I think like the entire group was, and I ended up making like this, just like this tiny little paper nose out of a stick-it note. And I can choose whatever character I want, but I made this nose out of paper and I like put it on like just the tip of my nose. And I looked at one of my players and I went, nah. And I'm pretty sure that's where DM Goblin came from. So at one point we had all like agreed to dress up as our characters for like a session one night. We all did that, and I just had like this paper mache mask. I don't know, I thought it was near me, but it was literally just like a paper craft goblin mask. And I had put that on and put a cloak over myself, and I just kind of like went on my knees and walked out into the living room just going, hey, roll for initiative. Players got a kick out of it. And we had all like made our costumes within like 24 hours for that session. So they all looked just like awful, but it was fantastic. It was one of the best sessions I've ever done. And DM Goblins just kind of stuck. So if my players dress up as their characters, then I get to be DM Goblin. Thank you. It's probably one of my best stories as a DM, honestly. Alright, let's see. Shape. Kind of want this to be a bit more of a pinch. I'm glad that I remembered where DM Goblin came from, because I tried to explain it to someone a while ago in like the origin story, but I just could not for the life of me remember where DM Goblin came from. think... Ah, wet. Okay, if I had that... Trying to figure out how this is going to attach to the mask after it's made. It's a decent sized nose. It'll get me started at least. Alrighty. I do remember, so I can tell the story again. Okay, so now I'll be able to, once the stream's over, I'm going to be able to go out to my living room and to my wife and be like, I remember the story. Good times. DMing is such a fun thing. Alright, so pinch. And I think this should be a good shape for a nose, I think. Oh, it's a blast. You don't always get to have those kinds of sessions with your players, but when it happens, it's a glorious thing, and it's a good feeling as a DM. Alright, I think that'll do. Needs to be a bit more of a platform. Thank you. This is literally my first time trying to do something so complicated with paper mache, so we'll see how this turns out. Alright. Oh boy. Alright. Now I can set this off to the side. Let that dry. I can proceed to whip out my mix. That's some paper strips. Also, you can't see, but I've got basically the jankiest like recording setup going on right now. This is literally this entire, or my camera that I'm using, or the webcam that I'm using to record this is quite literally taped to a lamp that I have. That was the only thing that I could find to actually support it. So the camera's right here, and then like right behind it is the lamp. And it goes off to like the side of my desk. I don't have any kind of a tripod to do this. I need to get a tripod if I want to do this more. Ah, nope, no, get back out here. I do not want to lose a piece of paper in the mache. Oh, I don't know what the best way to do this is. This is definitely a learning curve for me trying to do this. It does. I just need to do it more. I want to get into like more detailed cosplay and like actually making full costumes. I just do not have the space or equipment to support that. Because I live in a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment, and that does not facilitate cosplay space, not with all the other hobbies that I have. But I would like to eventually expand my desk as it is right now. And I'm hoping, like, to my right, I've got, like, this empty space in between my desk and a wall. And I'm either gonna, like, add another, like, desk or something there specifically for, like, crafting and such. Or I'm just gonna yeet the desk that I currently have and get a straight flat desk. Which I'm leaning towards that. Because I know a coworker who's good at woodworking. Yeah, I know the feels. That's what why I would, or that's another use for the extra space that I want to get would be for is just like I've got a Proxon, I've got like a bucket of Vallejo paints, and just all my crafting stuff could go in that corner, and I could even get like a dedicated camera setup like what I've got going on right now, except not wobbly, and just dedicate that space to crafting and live streaming like this. Get that real variety, or really get the title of variety streamer. Come on. Oh. Nope, apparently my bot did not like whatever you just said. Oh, RIP that timeout. I need to refine the bot a little bit. And honestly, like my chat or on my side, I can't even see what you said offhand, so I don't even know what caused it to freak out that bad. Oh. You'll have to PM me on Discord or something, tell me what you were trying to say and what the bot did not like for whatever reason. Because right now that bot is literally just set to its absolute defaults, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, cool. Nose is coming together. The DM Goblin knows the secrets. Oh, phone. Hello, phone? What are you complaining about? Oh. The phone is saying that you have PM'd me on the Discord. Get that to shape. Alright, give me a fat minute here. My fingers are all kinds of covered in glue. There we go. Huh. I don't know what it would dislike from that. Maybe assault? I don't know. I'll have to check the filters on that one. Because I don't see anything foul language related. Then again, bots set to their defaults usually aren't the brightest things. Yeah, no, I definitely prefer my painted minis. Um, I will be the first to admit, like most people that paint minis, I have a lot of unpainted minis that need some paint love, which is one thing I'm. Oh, that got right into my mouse pad. But that's one thing that I'm hoping to stream at some point is mini painting, uh, which I might do, or I'm not sure if I'll do it with this setup that I've got going on. But once I get the like other setup that I really want, like the whole other desk, then that's going to be a priority to me. Is figure or finding a way to stream that so that it can just be like this, just like a chill me chatting with whoever's in chat and painting up some minis. Gives me an excuse to like, or gives me a reason to get minis done. That extra space would also give me an excuse to try and get like a um, or an airbrush setup going. Even though I doubt that because I would need some kind of some kind of like hood vent or something to get all those extra fumes. I really want an airbrush though, just to get those extra effects. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, my dude. Enjoy your day. My stream will be ending here soon, but enjoy your breakfast. Uh, have a nutritious one. Hope your hunt is good, and thanks for the good luck. I will be streaming this again on Wednesday and Friday if you want to check out how the progress is, and then I might tweet pictures. Yeah, basically, I'll wake up, go to or get to work, and then be on Discord. I'm not sure how much more I can do with this nose. I'd like to try and get some vertical strips, but I just don't know how viable that is. This is gonna play nice. It seems like it will. Cool. I like when things play nice with me. Yeah. Oh man, 10 minutes till stream time is done. And still a whole heck of a lot of work that needs to be done on this. Oh, that instantaneously ripped on me. Not cool. Nope, and it's just gonna kind of lay there. Okay, conform to the nose, please. Alright, I need a couple more vertical strips. or not vertical, horizontal. Yeah, horizontal strips. Conform to the nose shape, please and thank you. Play nice. Alrighty. It seems to have taken shape actually rather nicely. Worked a little bit better than I was anticipating. Let's pat dry this a little bit. Try and get some of that excess glue. Try and get this to shape up. I think that's as good of a shape as that's getting. Alrighty. Oh, I would definitely need to go wash my hands and try and get all this glue off me. Alright. Well, that is basically all I can do on the mask today. I need to wait for these pieces to dry, and then I need to make new pieces of those. You'll probably see, well, you'll hopefully see 2 completed ears by the time Wednesday rolls around. We'll see if that holds true or not. It depends on how long these take to dry. If these aren't dry by the time I get home from work tomorrow, then I will be very likely taking a hairdryer to them so I can try and get those dry and get, or at least to a point where I can take them off their molds and get them, or get the next 2 pieces going. But we'll see. Hopefully Wednesday I'll be painting the mask, or constructing and painting the mask. Maybe. I also need to add wood glue to the mask so I can smooth it out and sand it down, just so it doesn't have any weird paper edges to it. So we will see what happens. In the meantime, if you liked this kind of stream, let me know. It'll be going on for the rest of this week for my usual streaming. So Wednesday and Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to follow or stay up to date with me and what I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Ozax, or on Facebook, also Ozax, or Twitch, or Mixer, all Ozax. I'm also on YouTube, Night Ozax, or Night Plays, but I don't really upload like content other than the streams, solely because YouTube is kind of in a weird place right now. But I'm feeling it out. But if you have a game you want me to play, feel free to contact me one of those ways, and I will definitely consider it. My usual, or my normal streaming schedule is Monday, MMO Mondays, where I just pick a random MMO that I own and I play it. Wednesdays is Wheel Wednesdays, where a program randomly picks a game from my Steam library to play. And then Fridays is Fun Friday, where I just kind of pick whatever I want to play or just stream whatever I want to do. So, hope to catch you around on one of those streams. And yeah, thanks for watching me put together this mask, partially. You'll see more on Wednesday at 7 p.m. See you guys then. Bye.